It's Carter. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. So we did something. We took a loss at one trade and we actually entered a new position, and we're going to be talking about how in a matter of a couple of minutes we're already up over $1,000 from trading in the market. And I'm actually considering day trading this with how fast this stock has squeezed up. So I hope you guys all enjoy it. If you guys do, hit that like button, subscribe, and if you guys want to learn more about trading and swing trading in the market, check out our school. It's absolutely fantastic. We have private live streams, quizzes, lectures, a group chat, but more importantly, we actually teach you to trade. It's not a get rich quick scheme. It's not alerts or anything like that. We teach you honest strategies that I've used for 6 years. It's going to be 7 years that I've been a full-time trader in like a week, which is crazy to think about. So check out our school. You guys can use code Black Friday for 51% off. So click that link, sign up, learn to trade, and I'll see you guys in there. But let's jump into this here. So we're first going to talk about the stock here that we are out on. So let's go here. So we took a position yesterday on ASPN. Now, the reason why we took it is the stock has sold off. It was super undervalued on the RSI. It had good risk and reward there. You know, you guys can see some nice support here going across. And looking at the hourly, kind of one of the things we saw was this great breakout here. Now, I'll be completely honest. I didn't get the best entry price. Our entry price was on that 90-day moving average line. I felt like I should have got in on this right here near and around the 1390 mark. So I didn't have the best entry. That was kind of my fault. The reason why was because I really didn't set an alert for this position. Now, I quickly learned my lesson today about how important alerts can be. So you guys can see the stock broke out, started rallying its way up, and by the time we entered on this, the 90-day moving average line, for a possible break above the 200. And at one point we were up a couple $100. Life was great, and then it hit that 200-day moving average line and just started selling off below it. Now, the second the this stock dipped below that trend line, we just exited the trade. It was a small, I think we might have made $10 or something very, very small. In the grand scheme of things, that's not gonna pay my bills. So we have to be more precise, right? That's one of the things I realized, okay, maybe we should start waiting for the 200-day breakouts, okay? So with TSSI here, one of the things that we saw was that very similar thing here. Where it had that nice trend line, as you guys can see, where it was just kind of selling off down below it. And then we started forming this nice trend line. So, the best entry point, honestly, would have been here on that 90-day moving average line. It would have been the best one, but you can't predict the future, okay? So I wanted to wait and see, because you guys can kind of see where it was hitting it as resistance. So I threw an alert up here this morning, near and around this 827 mark. And by the time we got in on a fill with TSI, it was 823. So we did get a pretty decent price here, almost on the low. And now the stock has been rallying its way up. Looking at like the 10-minute chart, you guys can see we pretty much got in on that peak, almost on that bottom price, which is very rare. With swing trading, it's not often you'll get in on those peak bottoms. In this circumstance, we did. I think a lot of it had to do because of the alert I sent. Because by the time I saw it, the stock dipped down a little bit, and then we just punched the gun. But this is kind of why I threw the alert there, because you guys can see this trend line kind of like here. So we threw the alert, up here. So I was happy with that fill, and then the stock just rallied its way up. So my thought process was this with this position. Let's go back to, we can go to the hourly so you guys can see it a little better. So we would enter at the 823 mark. We would keep our stop loss below here, okay? Because we will have a lot more supports, right? You guys can kind of see the general support there. So we'll have the trend line support, 200-day moving average line support, 90-day moving average support for a possible push back up to here. Look at that risk and reward, risking $1 to make $8.79. And since the stock is squeezed up 10%, I was not expecting this move today. A 10% 10% in a single day is absolutely crazy out of a stock. So, for me now, looking at this, what we're doing is we're just going to continue to look at these lower time frames and see if it dips below any of these moving average lines or if it gets any significant sell off, because I want to take advantage. We're already up $1,000. I want to keep it that way, right? So now here we'll just continue to monitor and keep our stop loss about $8 to $9, $8.75, right in that range. Most likely we'll just keep our stop loss. Another stock we're in on, and it's been kind of a mixed day here with SPRY. SPRY here was a nice trend line play, very similar to TSSI, where TSSI didn't even cover it, had this really nice little trend line there. So you guys can see just the good buying pressure it's seen, establishing heavy support on that trend line. It also was a little higher on the RSI at a 44, but looking back at previous history, I think is important, and that's where we had some good buying pressure out of it. But going back here to SPRY, good trend line, 90-day moving average play as well, and then the hourly was very similar. It sold off, formed that trend line going down, and so now, that breakout, right? It's pretty much we're like break even on this trade. We haven't made money, we haven't lost money, but we're just keeping our stop below 850, 845, right? Or 1348, 1345 in that range. So if it does dip down, we'll just cover our losses. But I'm hoping we can get some sort of breakout of that 200-day moving average line in the next couple of minutes here. So, or the next couple of days, really. So, guys, SSI, very rare does a stock do this, up 11%. It just happens, right? And that's why with trading, being prepared, setting those alerts are incredibly important. And the broker I am using that's everybody's wondering is MOOMOO. They're absolutely fantastic. I'll put a link to them down below. You guys can get up to 20 free stocks just by signing up. So sign up, click that link. But this thing is squeezed up to 11.2%, which is nuts. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.